Assalamu alaikum everyone and welcome back to another video. As you all know, my name is Hasib Shahid and I am the student at Air University Islamabad Mechatronics Department 4th semester. So guys, in today's video we will be going to discuss a simple and the most important project of our semester, which is named as a line following robot. What is meant by a line following robot? A line following robot is a kind of robot that follows the line, or we can say that it can follow any kind of a path according to our requirement. There are many ways and there are many procedures and many methods are available on the internet to design a line following robot, but according to our design requirements we will have to do it by the help of digital logic and design. There are many other ways like Arduino and the use of the microcontrollers through which we can easily design the line following robot, and that design is much more reliable and accurate than using the digital logic design. What is the reason behind the efficiency of the line following robot by the use of Arduino or any other microcontroller is much greater than the design of line following robot through digital logic design. The major difference is that when we are studying the digital logic design, in case of digital logic design, we will be only discussing, we will only have a discussion regarding 0 and 1, and we can follow the whole combination by the help of 0 and 1. But when we are going to discuss about Arduino or the other software like microcontrollers or many other devices, the microcontrollers and the Arduino has a capability to reduce the speed of motors separately or all at the same time. So, as I told you earlier, that we will be going to implement that by the help of a digital logic design. So, according to that, as you all know, the first and the starting step in the design is the formation of a truth table, and as you can see that we are being required to design a line following robot by the help of four proximity sensors. The simplest form of the proximity sensor is the IR sensor. So let's start with the truth table. So here is the truth table that we are going to use. Um, okay. So let's have a look at that truth table. Let's. As you can see that this is our sensor 1. This is the logic of sensor 2, sensor 3, sensor 4, and that is the logic designed for motor left and motor right. So as you can see that whenever our sensor IR sensor gives 0 when it is on the black line, or we can say that it is on a white line. When all four sensors lies on black line or white line, the motor will not have to run. Both of the motors are represented as 0. But when the other condition which represents 0, 0, 1, this means that our rightmost sensor, which is the S4, is 1, which represents that our left rightmost sensor is on black, but the other three sensors are on white. So in order to keep it aligned, we have to run the motor left motor. So whenever the logic 0, 0, 1 appears, our left motor will run and the right motor is 0. Heading towards our next logic, which is 0, 0, 1, 0. In that case, you can see that our third sensor is on black while the fourth sensor is on white, and the rest of those are on white. As you can see that we are going to implement or run our whole design on a black path of 1 inches diameter. So for that purpose we can say that that logic might have appear when we are going to perform it on a practically performing it. So as you can see that whenever the logic 0, 0, 1, 0 appears, you can say that our as 3 sensor is on a black while all 3 sensors are on white. So the left motor will have to run in order to keep our track aligned. Another logic 0011 appears, then again our left motor runs and the right motor is still off. Now heading towards our next logic, which is 0100. In this case, you can see that our sensor S2 is on black while all three sensors are on white. So for that purpose, our right motor has to run and the left motor is stop. And the case for 0101, both motors are on. As you can say that this is our don't care condition, and on don't care condition we can place either 0 or 1. And in our next logic condition 0110, both motors run because in this case represents the straight line condition. So this is that is all our there are several logics on which we are going to implement our whole robot design. So uh, as you can see that there are multiple logics and we have 16 different logics for each sensor. In order to implement that circuit, we need to use the 216 cross 1 mux. So this is quite costly and it is difficult to manage or fabricate 16 cross 1 mux on an IC or the PCB board. So for that purpose, we need to apply the rudimentary logic in order to minimize our circuit. So as you can see that when we apply rudimentary logic, these both zeros are replaced by zeros, as S1 for zeros, these are replaced by zeros, and in this case we can say 1 1 as a single one. So for S2 this is 0 0 1 1 0 0 1 1. For S3 we can say that 0 1 0 1. The major difference is for S4. Now we will be going to use S4 as an outputs of motor 1 and motor 2. So as you can see that 0 1 represents S4, 0 1 represents S4, but 1 0 represents S4 dash. For first condition 0 1 represents S4, 1 1 represents 1, 0 1 represents S4, 1 1 represents 1, 0 1 represents S4, 1 1 represents 1, and 0 1 again S4 and 0 0 0. But for the right motor, you can see that both zeros 0, 0 0 0, 1 1 1, and 1 0. 1 0 is the reciprocal of 0 1, so we can replace that 1 0 by S4 dash, that is the not of S4. And for the next case 1 1 1, 1 1 1, 1 1 1, and for 1 0 again S4 dash. So this is our final truth table that we will be going to implement. As you can see that we have 8 outputs, and so for that purpose we need to use the 8 cross 1 mux. So we will be going to use two 8 cross 1 muxes in order to implement our whole system. So in this way we can see and we can say that we can easily minimize our cost according to our requirements and according to our needs. So now let's head towards the simulation process. As you can see that in the design of any electronic machines and any electronic cases, we have to implement firstly on it firstly on Proteus, and then after that we will be going to implement on its hardware. So let's heading towards our Proteus circuit. So this is the Proteus design of our line forming robot. As you can see that we will use 4 IR sensors and two 8 cross 1 mux ICs, 74151 ICs, and we will use one motor driver module. Why we use motor driver module? A motor driver module is a module that helps to run two motors at a single time by applying equal voltage and current in order to in order to maintain the performance of the motors. So this is our circuit. Let's test some logics on it. Let's head to our truth table. Now we will be going to implement some logic and test either it really works or not. First, we will be going to apply 001, and let's see if our motor 1 runs or not. So as you can see that we can change the logic to 0, 0, and 1, and let's start the simulation. uh, As you can see that simulation has been started, and our left motor, which is named as M1, has started to rotate. So next, and let's head towards our next logic, which is 0 1 1 0. So as you can see that in case of 0 1 1 0, our right motor has to run and the left motor has to stop. So let's start the simulation. As you can see that our right motor is running and the left motor is stop. And for the third case, which is the case for both motors to run, that is 0 1 1 0. So this is the 0 1 1 0 case, and you can see that both motors are running at equal RPM. So this proves that our circuit really is working in a precise manner, or is and it is work and our software simulation is entirely true, and we can say that our design is completely accurate. But as a matter of fact, when we will be going to apply that circuit on a breadboard or any PCB board, there are several complications regarding ICs, their testing, and many other things like that. So, for that purpose, we will be going to uh, have to make the PCB layout, because PCB is the most finest layout, or you can say that is the most finest way of implementing the whole circuit. In order to implement that circuit, as you can see that there are no PCB model for those IR sensors, and as well as there is no PCB design module for this motor driver module and for the motor as well. So in order to make a proper PCB layout, we need to change our schematic according to our requirements and needs. So for that purpose, here is our another PCB in which we will be going to made requirements. As you can see that these are known as cell connectors. We have used cell connectors for the input connections of these infrared sensors. These cell connectors are connected to the VCC, ground, and the output terminals of other muxes and sensors. And these are the other cell connectors that are used for the input and input VCC and the ground of the terminals. So um, this is the change that are the changings that are being made into the schematic design, so that we can easily make our PCB layout. So let's head towards our PCB layout. So as you can see that this is our PCB layout. Before entering into our PCB layout, let's have some discussion regarding the PCB layout. What is the how PCB layouts are made, and what are the complications, and what are the types of PCB available in the market. As you can see that there are several type of PCB boards that are being available in the market. Uh, One is a single layer PCB board, in which only one layer of the board has a copper implemented on it and the other layer of the board is plain. While we can also use a double layer PCB board. In case of double layer PCB board, the cost of our project also rises, and the double layer PCB board is quite expensive as well. In order to implement our PCB design or a circuit, we need to use a double layer PCB board, because our the design and the implementation of our circuit is quite complex. For that purpose, we need to use a double layer PCB board. So this is our with the Proteus design of our PCB board. Um as you can see that we have a ground terminal here, and these are the cell connectors, and these are the wire. As you can see that we are going to use a wire of T40. Why we use T40? A T40 is a wire. When we're going to implement it on a PCB board, this wire has enough diameter, and we can easily perform soldering on them. And we for our convenience, we are going to use the bridge design. By the help of bridge design, our soldering is quite easy, and the chance of short circuit is quite low, because when we going to use the bridge circuit and we perform the soldering on that points, the soldering is quite easy on that points. So these are the possible circuits. Ab, and next we have a pads. These are known as a pad. So as you can see that we are not going to use these kind of pads which are in the PCB layout of our ICs and other components like that. Why we use the pad of larger diameter? Because when we apply the connections on these kind of boards, and on the when we apply connections or we will apply the soldering process, these boards, if these pads are small or of less diameter, it can dissolve, their copper dissolves, and our soldering is not proper. For that purpose we will have to made it large for the proper and the better implementation of our circuit. So this is our whole PCB design, and you can see that we have this is the upper layer copper, and this is the upper layer copper, and this is the down layer copper, and these are the connections that are being made by the help of the schematic, or we can say that by the help of auto rating. Auto rating process, we can easily made our connections on a PCB. So this is our PCB design, and that is all. And next we will be going, now you will going to see the working model or the working design of our line forming robot. So let's have a look at that. So now you will be going to notice, or you will be going to see how that line following robot in actual or in practical really works. And as I told you, that robot has been made by the a lot of difficulties and bought a lot of troubleshooting, because when we will going to design any sort of electronics project, we will have to troubleshoot of our project before the actual implementation of the project. So uh, let's hope you enjoy the working of our line forming robot. So let's start.
सर यहाँ पे चले
एक सेकेंड है आते टाइम टेप की वजह से
So, as you witnessed that how the line following robot works, and what is the working principle, and um uh, what are the specs on these on which our line following robot really works. So let's watch another video in which we can see that our line following robot is also capable of taking sharp turns. So let's head towards our next video. So here is our video, and now let's see. Now you will be going to see how our line following robot was able to take sharp turn. So now you can see how our line following robot will able to take sharp turns. So this is how it takes sharp turns, and you can see that our land following robot is able to take sharp turns easily. Now let's again watch how it can take regular turns as well.
यहाँ पे चले
एक सेकेंड है आते टाइम
As you can see, our land following robot was able to follow the line.
टेप की वजह से
So this is the practical implementation of our project. I hope you like our project and you like our efforts that are being made by us in order to accomplish our task. So that is all for today's video. If you like the video, then don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. And as well as you can comment down comment down in the section about my mistakes and how to improve how I can improve and how I can make this project more easily. So, thank you and Allah Hafiz.